Welcome to ELH4X4 Doing Stuff. Today we're working on the 2000 Silverado, two-wheel drive, 4.8 liter, and what we're dealing with is an ABS light and a brake light that was showing up. Was in the vehicle, heard excessive road noise from the front left wheel. So, you know, to me it's like, okay, wheel bearing's going bad. Maybe because the wheel bearing's going bad, the wheel speed sensor is not picking up the signal properly and is throwing off like the ABS and, you know, this other brake light. Anyway, we got the scanner hooked up. All right, here we go. So we got a C0221, which is a right front wheel speed sensor circuit open. Why is it the right side? I don't know. We're going to have to find out. But what I did do is I bought a pair of genuine GM wheel bearings for up front. And they came with the speed sensors. And unfortunately, one of them, the connector is broken off, damaged during shipping, but, you know, I'm going to fix that. So we're going to take this thing for a test drive and see what the wheel speed sensors are doing. Well, let's see what the history code is. Let's see if this takes forever. I just noticed something that was kind of odd. When the battery light comes on, ABS light goes out, fuel gauge goes to empty. So that's kind of odd. Anyway, I'm trying to get this thing fired up. What we can do is do the test drive. Right, I could feel, maybe you might be able to hear that. I got the camera resting on the steering wheel, but you could feel the vibration. All right, I want to get this. Here we go. Man, I should have brought my glasses. Electronic brake control module, relay circuit, motor relay, control valve. So we got a bunch of right front wheel speed, open, erratic. So let's see if we have that PID. All right, so we're try to get you guys situated here. All right, let's go. Right, so we're getting zero action on a right front wheel. Rear wheels and left wheel are matching. I mean, you guys can see the graph, right? All right. Listen. All right. So we know that the wheel bearing is shot. No big deal. I got lighting all over the place so we can kind of see what's going on. So. Get this out of the way. There we go. We're on our jack stand. Let's get some light going on here. Trying to see, you know, what would be the best position for you guys. But what we got to do is take the caliper and the mounting bracket off, disconnect the wheel speed sensor. The new one has all the fittings and stuff. So this wheel bearing was replaced before. I don't know what the other side looks like. Well, I forget, but I know for a fact that this was replaced. And it may be one of, you know, a cheap Duralast or whatever, store-bought, non-factory replacement. So what we'll do is, man, I gotta get this lighting right for you guys. All right, let's get that caliper off. $18 mil, is it? Man, that's a... All right, I'll work on that. We'll get the bracket off. All right, so this mounting bracket is an 18 mil. Things are getting kind of crammed in here, so I'll be right back. Let's give you a close-up. If I can. There we go. So we're looking at these two bolts here, 18 mil. Okay. All right, the pads look good. The rotor looks okay. All right. So I've learned, maybe I haven't. Maybe I haven't learned. But keep note of how maybe, you know, maybe this won't, maybe you could. What I'm saying is sometimes you could put these dust shields on the wrong way and it'll fit up all nice and neat like, and then you go to put the rotor on and it'll hit against the rotor. So then you got to undo all of that stuff. But, you know, this one looks like it's kind of fail-proof, but we'll find out. All right. So if you know, make a mental note of how the dust shield goes back on. So that's all I wanted to say. And then there's 3 bolts that we got to loosen up, and then we still got to disconnect the speed sensor wire so we can feed it through the dust shield, or it's all going to come off together. So, but anyway, we still got to free up the connector off of, and I think the replacement comes with a new Christmas tree connector, and then we got to drill out this hole. Maybe we could push it through, I don't know. I don't think it goes all the way through. Maybe it does. Yeah, it feels like it. All right, anyway, we're going to get back to, let me find out what size that is. Oh, wow. Okay. Those are just little guys. Let's see what we got here. I thought it was going to be at least an 18 mil. That would have been pretty cool. That everything was 18 mil. All right, what do we got here? 15 mil. I'm going to hit this up with some penetrating oil. No, we definitely don't want to do that to the brake caliper. So that's bad practice. Let's get this thing. That was a stupid mistake. I understand that. I'm going to go get a bungee cord. Alright, we got one broke loose. You're going to need a shallow socket. Because a long socket isn't going to fit in between the bolt and the spring. There we go. I don't like doing that with the ratchet. You know, it's a little excessive. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. This may pull the hub out of the actual bearing. Now, we got it loose. There we go. That is kind of all gummed up in there, so I'll clean that out. Alright, so this goes like that. Alright, let's see if it sure can go on backwards. But we'll have the dirty side facing out, right, because the nice clean side. So this is how the dust shield goes. Get that wiped out, put some anti-seize in there, and install the new hub and bearing assembly. All right, can you guys see that? I don't know. Anyway, that's the genuine GM wheel hub assembly. I'm going to hit this up with some sandpaper, clean it up a little bit, and get it reassembled. Yeah, here, I'm going to use some of this. We'll be right back. We got to get everything buttoned back up before we route the wheel speed sensor, because it goes over top of the brake line. All right, so we'll just have that out of the way. We'll get the bracket mounted back up. Well, we'll get the rotor let's get a lug nut put back on so the rotor's not flopping. There we go. I'm looking for the other hardware, but while I'm doing that, there we are. We still got to do the other side. I'm not going to show you all of that. What we're going to do is we're going to test the wheel speed sensor. Okay. We'll test the wheel speed sensor, see what's going on with that. And I still have to repair, when it showed up in the mail, this connector was ripped off. You know, we can send it back and wait however long it takes for that to get back, or we can just fix it ourselves. All right. Okay. All right. And hopefully we don't have to replace a brake line. Make sure we don't put a unnatural twist in the brake line. go. Make sure dust boots aren't rolled over. The caliper bolts are the same. Okay. Trying to find sockets rolling all around this little chair that I'm on. Okay. Right. We still have to take care of a little Christmas tree that broke off in the upper control arm. So we'll get that drilled out. All right. There we go. There's 2 holes up there. I'm putting it closest to me. I guess what we can do is get a oscilloscope hooked up to make sure that the speed sensor's working. Stand by. All right. We're going to go through a guided component test. So we enter our information. Wheel speed sensors. Do a frequency test. And we'll connect A and B. So A is positive, B is negative. I have a pins. You know, I'm not directly mounting on the actual pins on the inside, so. Is it? Maybe I don't have it hooked up right. Oh. So we got to go over 25 miles an hour. Let's try to do another test here. No, maybe that's not it. So I guess we got to go over. You know what? I think they want to actually hook up to I'm losing my train of thought here. What I'm trying to say is I'm thinking they want to actually go to the harness side and not the well, there we go. We're producing some voltage on these tests. What I'm trying to say is they want you to go to the actual harness for the wheel speed sensor, not the wheel speed sensor itself. But I was able to do that, so it's at least producing some kind of signal. All right, that's all I wanted to make sure. Anyway, all right, we got everything all buttoned up. What we need to do is step on the brake, and we'll do that right now and see if our brake line is leaking. All right, I don't see any leaks. All right, let's do the other side. We got to torque the wheels to 140. All right, so we'll get this wheel back on and we'll reposition the vehicle because I don't have a lot of room in here. But let's get over to the other side. All right, already. Notice the difference. We'll get it put down and torqued up. What's going on here? Something happened. There we go. Get it set to 140. I don't know if you guys can see that. go. Let's get the other side done. All right, we're over here on the passenger side. I spent more time fixing the broken connector. And then, where are we at here? Making test leads. So we can go through the wheel speed sensor, do voltage and ohms and all these other tests that we weren't able to do with the setup that I had on the driver's side. But here we are on a passenger side, and that one's no good either. So I'm glad I bought two, because, you know, without really going through and testing everything, I just, you know, hey, if I'm going to replace one side, I might as well do the other side, and I'm glad I did. So yeah, be thorough with your diagnostic. All right. So you guys already been here, done that with the other side. So I'm going to get set up to where we have access to the wheel speed sensor and go through testing with the oscilloscope. All right. We got the wire all disconnected and whatnot and moved to a more easily accessible area. One of the tests we can do is back probe. We'll get set up for that. But, you know, I notice this wasn't plugged in and it doesn't really reach the mount here. So something's going on with that. Oh, that's nice. This is loose. Anyway, this one looks like it's been replaced with the aftermarket wheel hub also. But let's get our testing equipment set up so you guys can see what's going on. And I got to change the battery in the GoPro. All right, so before we change the battery, this is what we got here. So when I spin the wheel, it drops down. All right, but what I did notice too is the color of the wire coming from the wheel speed sensor isn't the same as the genuine GM. So I'm going to try to reverse the connector. And see what that does. There we go. So our millivolts are like way off. So, all right. That's telling me that the actual wheel speed sensor is bad, but then we're going to check the whatever that word is, the, you know, make sure that the wiring harness is good. For crying out loud, what is that word? Integrity. So we're going to test the integrity of the wheel speed sensor. I'm going to get set up for that. All right, so we got our waveform. And then when we're spinning the hub, there's no change in the waveform. And all we're doing is we're back probing the connector and testing it that way. Ignition is off. I didn't see anything about that, but this is what a good waveform would look like. And it doesn't look like that. And it says, as wheel speed changes, frequency and voltage will change. There we have it. So I guess what we can do also is do a voltage check, like I said we were going to. So let's get that. All right, we're doing a resistance check on the sensor, and it's not even picking anything up as far as continuity. So here we have 0 ohms. We know that the ohm meter is good. So anyway, you know, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and there isn't a test that I know of on this oscilloscope for checking the integrity of the wheel speed sensor harness and not the sensor itself. So anyway, let's drive on. We got to change. I've been wasting way too much time with all this other sidebar stuff. So let's just get this wheel hub put back together, get it on the road, and look at it from there. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like this is missing a bearing or two. Yeah. And the other side was making more noise. All right. We don't have any road noise coming from the wheel bearings. And our wheel speed sensors are matched, producing a signal. The ABS light went out. The brake light went out. It'll probably flash on again, but right now it is out. No real road noise, so that's a win right there. All right, well, thanks for watching ELH 4x4 doing stuff. 2000 Silverado 1500, testing the wheel speed sensors and replacing the wheel hub bearing and, you know, wheel hub assembly. All right, see you at the next one.